Trump administration officials are lining up to aggressively deny that any of them had written the New York Times op-ed anonymously. That was, of course, the notorious op-ed that made Trump look like the incompetent fool that he is. Now, Mike Pence over the weekend claimed that he was willing to take a lie detector test to prove that he wasn't the person who wrote it. But one of the things that stood out to me was a conversation that took place on Fox. So Fox News has this panel and Candace Owens is on the panel. They're discussing the New York Times op-ed. And what I love about the exchange that you're about to see is how Dana Perino handled it. Take a look.
There's the political appointee who wrote the op-ed anonymously. That's somebody who President Trump chose.
But do you think that's true, though? How do we know it's not just the New York Times publishing that?
Oh, no.
Well, do you mean that the New York Times wrote it itself?
How do we know? That's all I'm saying is, how do we know?
I genuinely can't believe it could be a
really, it could be somebody at the deputy undersecretary of the such and such.
But we don't know. There is no transparency. There's no transparency whatsoever. It's anonymous.
Tesla, I mean,
we're taking this at face value.
Presenting this as a positive populist measure.
That was amazing. So Candace Owens is saying there's no transparency, so how do we know that the New York Times didn't just write it themselves?
Yeah, no, but so I blame Dana Perino and all the current Republicans for staying in the room that is filled with people who recently escaped from an insane asylum. So you see Dana Perino's reaction on there. Candace Owens says, maybe how do we know the New York Times didn't just write it itself? That's a preposterous thing to say. So they would risk hundreds of years of their reputation on this one op-ed. And how many people would risk their careers? They would all get fired. Anyway, it's beyond preposterous. And Dana Perino knows it. She goes, right? Like she winces. But does she ever get up and walk out of the room?
Of course not. No, but here's the thing. This is the thing that drives me crazy. Back in 2016, Candace Owens had a blog, it no longer exists, but BuzzFeed did a great expose on this blog that she had where she made fun of Tea Party members, said that she can't wait for them to die, right? Peacefully in their sleep, I hope. She said something like that. She made fun of Trump incessantly, including making fun of his penis size.
Now the blog did and she ran it, okay? So some of those pieces were written by different people, but she ran it.
No, she ran it, okay? But the whole thing about Tea Party members, she wrote that, okay? She wrote that. So look, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because she's a paid shill. Right? She is paid specifically to go against the best interests of her own community and say all of these lovely things about Trump. How did she go from despising Trump in 2016, despising the Tea Party, and then all of a sudden, oh, you know what? Actually, Trump is the greatest. Everyone loves Trump. Trump is so great for the black community. You think we're idiots? I mean, some portion of the country consists of idiots because they believe her. They believe that she's had this like weird out of nowhere moment where she's decided, oh, now I'm a conservative. She's getting paid, Turning Point USA, she's getting paid by them to say the things that she says. The thing that frustrates me the most is that she'll get these segments, right? They'll invite her onto various shows to spew her nonsense that she doesn't actually believe. Look, if she genuinely believed the things that she was saying, that's one thing. But she's paid to say the things that she's saying. And everyone seems to know it, but no one seems to care. Yeah, we'll have her on Fox, we'll have her on whatever show.
Yeah, so look guys, did she consciously make a decision at some point in 2016, I'm gonna sell out, I don't care, I just wanna get paid?
Yes, she did.
Okay, so that's Anna's theory, but you could have a hybrid of that possibility, where she does a video and goes, hey, maybe conservatives are right, and conservatives come in and start rewarding her. So they reward her in views, they reward her in revenue, and then somebody comes and says, hey, you know what, if you go around the country saying that, you can get paid a lot of money. She goes, yeah, I meant that, I did. Now, when she's on the left, she gets paid for nothing because nobody on the left pays for propaganda. I know that the right wing does projection and they think Soros funds everything, etc. No, trust me, no one on the left gets paid for a goddamn thing. You got to earn every single dollar.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Look, no liberal organization or progressive organization is going to pay a black woman to say progressive or liberal things. Okay?
But by the way, they wouldn't pay a white male evangelical to come out and go, the evangelicals are wrong and white males. That's preposterous. No one on the left ever does anything like that. But if you are a black woman who's going to say other blacks are wrong, other women are wrong, you're gonna get a huge payday. And that's what happened to Candace Owens. So whether it started out slightly earnestly, but by the time she got those paychecks, she's like, oh yeah, That guy who I thought was a monster is awesome. He's the greatest of the great. Where's the paychecks keep coming, right? Okay, yeah, he's fantastic. The liberals that I was just a minute ago are the worst of the worst. And it's okay, anybody can see how this is playing out. But to me, I know you're mad at Candace Owens.
No, I'm not mad at Candace Owens. Candace Owens is part of a corrupt media, ecosystem, and she's profiting from it, right? And by the way, I want to be clear about something. Are there black conservatives who are genuinely principled conservatives? Of course there are, right? Candace Owens does not fall under that category. I know. You research her, you figure out what her past is. Just listen to her try to back up her conservative talking points. She can't do it. She doesn't even have the intellectual curiosity to look into it and figure out how to answer follow-up questions about her so-called conservative ideas.
And what's amazing is that the conservatives don't care at all.
They don't care.
So they're like, oh, you don't know anything. Who cares? Sarah Palin, Donald Trump, George W. Bush, Candace Owens. They're all maniacally stupid. And conservatives think, who cares as long as they're parroting what we want them to parrot? Look, I'll give you an example of what Anna is talking about. Larry Elder. Now, Larry Elder is an African-American conservative. He's had guiding principles his whole life. I don't agree with those principles. I've had huge debates with him on air, but he actually believes those things. Now, he gets paid as a talk show host, but that's his job. There's nothing wrong with that. He had those principles all along. He didn't sell out to become a conservative. That's what he's been doing. And you could vehemently disagree with Larry, but I don't know anyone that thinks he's stupid. I don't know anyone who thinks he's doing it in a disingenuous way, etc. So you want to respect Larry Elder, even though I disagree? No problem, no problem. This, Candace Owens comes along and goes, who's paying? Conservatives, yeah, I'm in. I don't know what I'm in for, but who cares? Did I do the research? Republicans don't believe in research. But to me, I'm more angry at the Dana Perinos of the world, who just sit there and go, oh yeah, maybe the New York Times made it up. Of course the New York Times didn't make it up. And I'm sitting next to an insane person, but that's okay. Look, I know I'm a former Republican from a long, long time ago. And it was a long transition that people ask me about all the time. Hey, I care about balancing budgets. Oh, it turns out Republicans never balance budgets. I care about not attacking a country that didn't attack us. That was George H.W. Bush's policy. George W. Bush's, his son's policy was the exact opposite. These are interesting conversations. And I remember Ben Mankiewicz telling me when we worked together in Miami now 20 years ago, he said, you're in the wrong room. Those guys, you have principled opposition to affirmative action because you think it hurts minorities. Everyone else in the room thinks, the black people are getting too much. And by the way, I remember being in rooms where people would literally say that. And I came to the conclusion, I'm in the wrong room. So Dana Perino sits in that room. She knows she's in the wrong room. And she's just symbolic of all the other people, both in the media and in politics. You think they don't know Trump is mental? Of course they know. Of course they know. Dana Perino knows Trump is maniacally stupid and self-centered and a pathological liar. And all of them know it. But they're like, checks are still clearing, right? Still clearing? Yep, I'm staying in the room. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.